Toastmaster Tim Taylor. Tim's been a Winter Park Toastmaster for the last 6 years.
Wow.
A successful IT company and a cybersecurity firm in Longwood that he literally started out of the trunk of his car 25 years ago. Tim loves the club and the relationships here, as we all do. But on a side note, Tim is going deer hunting soon. And he needs to borrow a pickup from someone. Please see Tim after the meeting if you can meet this need. Please welcome expert deer hunter and Toastmaster, Tim Taylor.
Before we start, do we have any veterans here that are not speaking today? Damien? Anyone else? Alex, you're not. Veteran of what? All right. Veterans Day. We're all excited about our military. I remember when my uncle flew off to Vietnam. I was standing in the airport in Memphis. My aunt was there, and she almost fainted when his plane took off. I was 8 years old. But he made it back safely, so praise God for that. All right. If you join the military, what branch of service do you think you would like to join? The Air Force, the Space Force, the Army, the Navy, the Marines, or the Coast Guard? Robert Levy.
Thank you, Toastmaster Tim, for that topic. I have been curious, more out of ignorance than anything else, about what it would be like to join the Coast Guard. I don't know anyone who has joined the Coast Guard. I understand that they have not had anyone, I think this is correct, oh, fantastic, I should talk to you. I believe they have not had anyone die in battle or in any service since they've started. But it is a dangerous job. I believe at one point they were intercepting drugs and so forth. At some point, they had a large island in New York that they gave over to the city of New York. It was a beautiful place. But I think it would be very interesting to be on the Coast Guard. It's a very small force. Very important force, something we often take for granted. We have never had anyone invade our country, but the Coast Guard is one of our first defenses. So I thank them for my liberty today.
If you were in the military, where would you like to be stationed? Lake Smith.
One of the liberties the topics master takes is he can choose someone that's got a mouthful of bacon. Where would I like to be stationed? It's an excellent question. My father was retired Navy, and his last point or duty station was Argentia, Newfoundland. It was, as Colonel Potter said, it was colder than a witch's thorax. I don't know. I think I would like someplace tropical. Maybe Puerto Rico. Maybe down in South America somewhere. Maybe Panama. I've never been bit by 1,000 mosquitoes. That's something to think, Europe? Europe? What? Who's been to the bases in Europe? Anyone? Roy, should I go to Europe? Germany?
Yes, Italy in particular. Or
Italy. Oh, daggone it, that's right, Italy. I was just there. I could go back on the government's dime. Hot dog! Good idea. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Back to you, Tim.
Thank you. Would you want to be in more a physical service or one based on intelligence? Morris McNibb.
No, couldn't be intelligent.
God. Well, obviously intelligent,
Uh-oh.
which ought to put you all in deep fear. Intelligence. I like the idea of being intelligent in intelligence because you have to see so much and observe everything and correlate everything so that it makes sense. So being in intelligence would take a lot of work, but it would all be mental. I like that idea. Too bad I don't have the brain capacity for it. Oh, well.
What is your favorite war movie and why? Alex with Rip.
That was easy, everyone could do it.
My favorite war movie. I like love movies, man. I like movies like The Notebook and movies like
Uh-oh.
I'm just kidding. I don't like love movies. I like action movies like Equalizer. Any movie starring Tom Cruise. But when I think of war movies, I think of that movie Brad Pitt was in.
Hanks, Tom Hanks.
I don't know. It's not early for this, man. Something like that. Yeah. But yeah, back to his question. If I was to choose a physical or intelligence, I would choose the physical because I don't want to think. I just want to do. You want to think all the time. I mean, I'm thinking right now, but I still can't think of anything.
Don't go for intelligence.
Thanks to all of that.
I know you said you want to do instead of think, but in the military, doing is being shot at. All right, name a military hero and state why they are a hero to you. Mark's here.
Morning, fellow Toastmasters.
Morning.
A year and a half ago, business partner at Orlando Health was brand new to Orlando Health. And he said, why don't you come on over to my office and let's introduce each other. So I went over to his office. He said, well, why don't you start sharing a little bit about yourself? Thinking, okay, this is kind of cool. And then he started sharing a little bit about himself. And he said, yeah, I was in the military, served as a naval aviator, went on to work for JetBlue and others. But in the process of the discussion, he said, yes, I was in Top Gun, and then kind of moved on and moved on.
Wow.
And I'm like, after he was done, I'm like, did I just hear you said you were in Top Gun? So I have befriended this man over the last year and a half. And I've been able to garner just a tremendous amount of respect of the battles that he has been in, preserving the freedoms and liberty that we have here at Winter Park Toastmasters to speak as we do today. And I am grateful to be able to befriend this gentleman, and he has become a hero to me because I've been able to witness what he has been able to do for our freedom today, ladies and gentlemen.
Talk about a member of your family who was in the military. Gina Rezende? You did the military. You asked for French, it's okay.
Well, my father was a general, but I didn't live with him. He passed away soon. But since we're talking about wars, I want to share a movie that I saw. It was the most amazing battle. Thousands of men on this side, thousands of men on that other side, and they planned the war starting that specific day. The two generals go down, meet, and you think that battle is going to start, but the two generals just pick up their swords, lay a little bit, and the winner wins the battle. No doubt. That was the most amazing movie, the most amazing battle.
Do you think men or women, look good in uniform? Sue, Angel?
Sorry.
Yes.
I think men and women, all women look good in uniform. I'm not a big uniform enthusiast myself, but I must say they do look very tidy. They look well-dressed. And I think wearing a uniform is a part of the process for behaving the way that they do. There is something uniformity that goes along with, I'll say, life, liberty, and happiness, to get my liberty in. My father was in the military, my boyfriend was in the military, my sister joined the Red Cross and went over to Vietnam, and they all looked pretty sharp when they were in their uniform, so I guess that's it.
Why do you think people in the military are so close to their friends from their military days? Michelle Hamilton.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters.
Good morning.
All right, I want you all to be my choir, so go me, 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 me. Me. All right, I want you to finish the lyrics. Highway to the
Danger zone.
No, give me some more energy. Let's sing it together. 1, 2, 3. Highway to the danger zone. And so, as soon as we started talking about Veterans Day and all that they have done for our liberty, and you're thinking about the people that you deal with, I thought about Top Gun. I'm a moviegoer, so I was naming off a bunch of movies. I thought about my family, my older brother who served in the military, and his son who's followed his legacy. And I take my hat off to them. Just 2 weeks ago, I was in New York City, so I was looking at Lady Liberty from the Staten Island Ferry. And me and my girls were talking, I took young ladies on a college tour, and we were talking about the importance of all of the people that cross that water to get to Ellis Island. And there's something about togetherness and camaraderie that happens that liberty represents here in the United States. So I appreciate and I am so thankful for all the things that we get to do together, but also making sure that we honor our veterans who fought together for us. Thank you so much.
Did you ever consider being in the military? Why or why not? Toastmaster Mark Wright.
I did an evaluator today.
I'm sorry. Just keep going.
Okay.
The nays have it.
Did you ever consider being in the military? Why or why not? Lonnie Fowler.
Morning, Howard.
Yes, I have, but at the same time, I have a long health history. I know they wouldn't want me. I'm a cancer survivor. So. But that being the case, I would do all I could to fight for this country. I appreciate every veteran that's here today. Sometimes in this country, we take our freedoms for granted. You ever hear stories about people that have left communistic countries, socialist countries, hear stories about the Holocaust? We really appreciate what we have here in the United States. Our freedoms, diversity of thought, and sometimes it's sad to see some of that slowly slipping away. But just remember, we all believe the same in this country, for the life, liberty, pursuit of happiness.
Have you ever shot a gun? If not, would you want to? Herman Salazar.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters.
Good morning.
Thank you for the come up. And that was something that I did recently, where my friend invited me to a gun range because I wanted to feel what it was like to shoot a gun. So we went to the gun range with his mom, and she brought a gun with her so that we could try it out. We showed up right when they were about to close. And as we're going through the whole process, we're rushing through, we are signing paperwork, and we get up to the gun range, and we only got to shoot about 3 different times at the little marker, and by the time I got the hang of it, the whole experience was over. But that's my experience. Thank you so much.
Why does America need a strong military? Mark it.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Tim. I think it's obvious why we need a strong military. And these gentlemen here are proof of it. They serve our country in a way that is outstanding, protecting our liberty. And without these sort of folks willing to serve our country, I think we'd be in a tough situation. I think the recent events have made it clear that once you kind of take your eye off the ball and have a weakness with the government, other countries start coming in and moving into areas that where it wasn't a problem before. So thank goodness to these gentlemen and all those who have served our country and kept our liberty. Thank you.
How do you think you would do in boot camp? Here he is.
You mean now or?
Either one.
I think boot camp would have been a lot of fun. You know, it's one of those things where you get a lot of people together and they're all with the same kind of goal. They're all nervous, lots of obstacles, lots of challenges, and lots of meaning. You get to know different people as they're talking about why they joined the military, what brought them to that. It's ways to create a bond. It's team building exercises. It's a way to understand people's different motivations. And I would have enjoyed that part. The physical part of it, I've always loved physical activities, doing things like that, challenging myself personally. So I think having that and even having the liberty to be able to do something like that would have been really important to me. Thank you.
Do you think Hollywood movies are accurate about what it's like to be in the military? Jordan Campbell. Oh, everybody, I'm sorry.
But I'll do it anyway.
No.
No.
Benjamin Urrutia.
I'm in road.
You're in what?
I'm the Toastmasters.
Toast of the day. All right, who am I missing? Who's my
Tim Conyers.
Tim Conyers. There you're hiding behind that. I was like,
Well, and all that, one more time, the question.
as a veteran, I'm sorry. Do you think Hollywood movies are accurate about what it's like to be in the military or be in war?
I think the one that comes closest to it is Saving Private Ryan. I can't imagine being on those type of boats that were going in, and really just being targets and shut up. I mean, the camera work on that was truly amazing. Talk about realism. And if that's what war is like, I personally don't want anything to do with it. But I'm glad our country is a country that tries its best not to do anything with war, tries its best to avert it. I believe that America is instruments of peace in this world. We haven't been perfect. No country is. But the liberty that we have is in large part because of the sacrifice of the men and women in the armed forces.
Let's all remember when you're speaking where the camera is. Okay, if your back's to it, that's what we're going to do. As a veteran, what is the best thing about being in the military, and what is the worst?
Morning, Toastmasters.
Morning.
For those of you that don't know, I'm in the Air Force Reserve right now. I'm stationed at Herbert Field. I do 1 weekend a month, 2 weeks a year. And the best thing about being in the military, mainly the Air Force, is I'm not in the Army. One of the questions you asked earlier, Tim, you asked about why everybody in the military is so close. It's the shared suffering that we all go through in boot camp. You also talk about movies. Think about Full Metal Jacket, my favorite war movie. You remember the drill sergeant there, how he treated everybody. It's not quite that bad in the Air Force, but it was enough to where we all say, hey, you remember in boot camp when they did that? Oh yeah, that sucked, right? And then we all come across those leaders that aren't great leaders, right? So we share suffering with that. The worst part about being in the military, I struggle to think of anything right now. It's one of the best choices I've made, and I'll do it again.
All right, thank you all, and thank you our veterans.
Did they all qualify?
Did everyone qualify?
They all qualify.
All qualify. Vote for 2, take a 2-minute break.
There we go.